Hello and welcome! If you've ever wondered what happens when you cross a sea lion with a beanbag chair and give it tusks, congratulations! You've just imagined a walrus. These ocean giants are the heavyweights of the Arctic, and they know it. We're talking 3,000 pounds of pure confidence, with a mustache that screams, "I've seen some things." Let's dive into the wonderfully weird world of the walrus, where naps, snacks, and occasional rage issues all coexist under one thick layer of blubber. First off, that blubber isn't just for show. Walruses are basically wrapped in a built-in sleeping bag, up to 6 inches thick, helping them stay warm in icy Arctic waters. They're part of the pinniped family, which includes seals and sea lions. But walruses are the only members of their own genus, Audubonus, which literally means tooth walker. Because yes, they use their giant tusks to pull themselves out of the water like gymnasts that skipped leg day. And those tusks? They're not just for selfies. Both males and females have them, and they can grow up to 3 feet long. They're used for dominance, digging, and occasionally poking another walrus who's hogging too much ice space, because personal boundaries matter. Now, don't let that sleepy face fool you. Walruses are like that one person who's friendly, until they're not. Most of the time, they're peaceful loafs, social, vocal, and totally fine hanging out in massive herds called haulouts. You'll find hundreds, sometimes thousands, piled together like a blubbery, snoring beach party. But when they feel threatened or irritated, things can turn dramatic fast. Males in particular can get feisty during mating season, using their tusks to fight over territory or a female's attention. It's basically The Bachelor, Arctic edition, except with more grunting and less romance. And if a human gets too close, let's just say walruses don't exactly believe in live and let live. Their size alone makes them dangerous. And they've been known to charge boats or overturn kayaks when provoked. Even polar bears and killer whales think twice before picking a fight with them. That's saying something. There are some chilling true stories out there. In 2006, a Norwegian researcher in Svalbard was nearly crushed when a walrus decided his inflatable boat looked suspicious. The walrus flipped the boat like a pancake. The scientist barely escaped, clinging to debris in the icy water until rescued. Moral of the story: never surprise a walrus during its lunch break. Even the U.S. Navy once learned this lesson the hard way. Walruses have been known to attack small submarines during Arctic missions, possibly mistaking them for rival walruses. Imagine trying to explain that on a military report. Submarine dented by angry sea sausage. And it's not just humans. Walruses sometimes turn their aggression inward. In fact, some adult males have been known to attack or even kill younger walruses during dominance fights. Unfortunately, not all of nature is cuddly, even if it comes with whiskers. Here's something less scary. Walruses are extremely chatty. They can bark, grunt, whistle, and even knock their tusks together to make clicking sounds underwater. Scientists say these noises help them identify each other, especially moms and calves. A mother walrus can recognize her baby's call in a crowd of hundreds. That's impressive. Considering I can't even find my phone on a coffee table. They also sing. Well, sort of. Males make bell-like sounds underwater to attract females during mating season. It's like underwater karaoke, if karaoke had tusks and smelled like fish. When they're not yelling, walruses are all about comfort. They love to nap. On ice, on beaches, or on top of each other. They spend roughly 2/3 of their time resting and the rest eating clams. And they're really into clams. They use their whiskers, called vibrissae, to feel around on the ocean floor, then suck the meat right out of the shell with vacuum-like lips. No cracking, no chewing. Just pure suction power. Dyson would be jealous. They can eat up to 6,000 clams in one sitting, which probably explains their look of being in a constant state of food coma. Unfortunately, there's one thing walruses can't nap their way out of: melting sea ice. As Arctic ice disappears due to climate change, walruses are forced to rest on land, where overcrowding can lead to stampedes and deaths, especially for calves. It's heartbreaking. These animals are literally running out of platforms to chill on. Conservationists are studying how to help protect their habitats, and several Arctic nations are working together to track populations and reduce human interference. It's a big challenge because even though walruses look unstoppable, their survival depends on ice. Enter World Walrus Day, celebrated every year on November 24th, a chance to appreciate these Arctic icons and raise awareness about their changing environment. Zoos, aquariums, and conservation groups around the world use the day to educate the public on protecting Arctic ecosystems. So, if you ever needed an excuse to post a walrus meme, that's the day. Now, what can we learn from the walrus? For one, don't underestimate the power of good insulation and a solid nap. But more importantly, it's a reminder that even the biggest, toughest creatures are vulnerable when their environment changes too fast. The walrus might look like it's built for world domination, but really, it just wants a quiet ice floe, a belly full of clams, and for everyone, submarines included, to mind their space. Because underneath all that blubber and bravado, it's still one of the Arctic's most fascinating survivors. Equal parts majestic, ridiculous, and utterly unforgettable. Thanks for watching.